And we are back. So, last we left off, our band, the White Scale Band, one might say, has found themselves on the road towards Silver Dorei. It's been a long, hard road, and in fact, they recently just survived. Not necessarily by the skin of their teeth, but a couple of you weren't doing so hot. An encounter with yet another Lord of Death, one of the enforcer assassins of the organization known as the Mar. The Sinner and his handler, the Shackle, both of which you finally laid low. Rogar taking him and Godzillaing his face with his cold breath attack at one point. However, it was revealed as we played it out that the long lasting effects of whatever kind of damage he had put upon the party still lasted even after his demise, at least to a certain point. And we are picking up as you guys are kind of gathering yourselves and looking about. What would you guys like to do?
Has Trist or anyone ever, do we have any idea why these people are attacking us?
I would assume that you do know. Were you there? Was Zoom there?
Zune was not there.
Okay.
Zune arrived, right? Zune arrived after.
Yes. Yes. Zune was not there yet.
No. Close.
Apparently, and it would have been revealed to you at this point, Zune, just to refresh your memory. Rogar, specifically, and his band, his former band, all of which are dead, besides Velree. And now Trist. Trist wasn't involved yet, but he was about to be. Are responsible for destroying a very prominent section of Clan Soulbrand's not necessarily just power structure, but their money-making endeavors. They had a very prominent brothel within Port Dorona that they literally burned to the ground and killed everyone inside. Making certain people upset, one might say. To top matters off, Tristan Varel gave Vern another branch of the Mars. So there's basically 4 prominent gains, and Trist basically gave Vern the finger and said, "I'm not working for you anymore." So then you guys pissed off them. Then, Zune, you remember this, you stole a crate of drugs from another faction of the Mar. What else have you guys done? There's been so many things, and then of course there was.
We've slayed multiple hags on the hierarchy of the Mar, the Soul Brand.
And then you also
at least 2 or 3.
The Dorei alone, and you guys go somewhere else.
Rogar has a target the size of,
we foiled their plans.
In addition to that, yeah, they were going to take over Brunwood, and then you guys stopped that from happening. So there's been a lot of, this is, they might be just a little upset.
Some enemies of the Mar.
What we're trying to say is that crime doesn't pay. And people come find you.
Vern told Triss that he was sending the Lords of Death after us.
Do we know how many death there are?
No, you have no idea.
You mentioned.
No, but
I thought
there's two less than what there was before.
You have fought 2 so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Saint to the sinner.
Saint
But sinner and saint.
All right.
Guess we're gonna go loot a body.
Yes.
The shackle is still there. It is. You guys approach the body of the shackle. He's frozen with a snarling look on his face, like he's dead. Obviously. As you go over his person, you would find he has 19 plates on his person, which are this special Mar currency. They're much larger than a normal coin. And they're kind of like gold filigree around the edges and almost like a diamond kind of in the center of them. and they are unique currency to the Mar.
And we would just all know this.
Rogar knows it for sure. So, and Triss also knows for sure. Velree actually spent time in the market, the Devil's Market, so
She did.
half of your party knows what these are for.
They were 1,000 apiece.
They were 100 apiece.
100 apiece.
Mm-hmm. So they're each worth 100 gold pieces in exchange. Now, they are only exchanged at places where the Mar does business.
I'll pocket some of those.
Okay, you guys are free to split them as you will.
Yes.
Other than that, you find a crumpled roll of parchment on his person, and as you unravel it, there are 4 wanted posters, essentially. One of them is a bugbear that you recognize with a prominent jaw, and there's a large X drawn through his face.
They're gonna be looking for him for a long
Crumpled
time.
away. There is a poster of I believe, yeah, there's a poster of who Rogar would recognize as Dayu that is crossed out, long crossed out. There's also a poster of a small goblin that is also crossed out. And then of course there was a those are only other ones, yeah, because those are the only ones he has on him. There is also the last poster that is one of Rogar, as he unrolls it, as you guys are looking through it, and that one is doesn't have any markings on it. It does, however, have a smudge in the left corner that if you guys would like to determine what it is, I would need an investigation check, probably from Trist. He's the most likely to do so.
I'll help him.
Ooh, flat roll.
Flat roll.
Yeah,
Coming up. 12.
Damn.
12. If Trish, you look at it, you're like, oh, shit. The DC wasn't very high.
I don't know.
Like, man, you're like, no, Trish. You go, shit, that's dried blood.
Is it Rogar's blood?
Velree comes over. Let me roll a roll for Velree real fast. Let me pull her character up. And she had to flee.
She did.
All right, got her. All right, I will give her a perception test. I'll go ahead and give her advantage on this since she's since she has experienced it before, possibly. With a 13, nope, she can't tell. She can tell it's blood, but it's dried, long dried, and she can't get a scent off of it.
Can you tell what species?
No.
Is it just like an accidental smudge, or is it like in a shape or anything?
It looks like purposefully, or not necessarily purposely. If it wasn't purposefully done, it was a decent amount of blood. This would be like the equivalent of like a silver dollar, a good spatter.
Wow. Right.
Well,
Anything else on this bastard?
yeah, carry on.
There is his scimitar. There are runic inscriptions along its blade. The scimitar itself. Okay. Does anybody speak Infernal?
I think Velree did.
Velree does.
Velree
I
might.
do.
Well, she speaks. Let me see. She speaks
I speak
Abyssal. She
Infernal.
doesn't speak Infernal.
She speaks Abyssal.
She speaks Abyssal.
I
I'm
speak
looking at
Infernal.
her shit.
You speak Infernal. Okay.
Yes.
Velree looks at it and says, that's the language of demons. It is an abyssal.
Oh, okay.
She just can't read it, but she can just tell you that's what it is. It's like magic work.
Okay.
And they're not arcane runes or anything like that. It's just written out.
They're arcane. They are arcane runes, but they are written in abyssal.
This guy got any armor?
He does not wear any armor.
Sure could do with a sword though.
There's a couple bodies up on the hill.
It does have the scimitar is what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Trist, would you like to identify it? You can tell it has a magical aura about it.
If there's time, if people want to.
Sure.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go drag
the bodies.
Yeah.
Don't forget the bodies I froze. I'm going to chip the armor off.
There's
true.
four. There's
Grab
four
those
other.
bodies too.
There's four other bodies. None of these guys wear armor. They never have. They even when you fought them previously, they don't wear. They eschew armor mostly.
Maybe they should.
I'm going to. Yeah, carry on. Go ahead.
Okay. They don't have anything noteworthy on their person. The henchmen that you killed out in the woods.
I still want to gather them up.
Okay. You gather their 4 corpses. Trist, as you spend time looking over the blade, you can tell that it is it's forged in some kind of demonic fire. And for all intents and purposes, it acts as a flame-tongued longsword, or a flame-tongued scimitar. Excuse me.
I'd like to go ahead and cast Comprehend Languages on myself, if I may, and just read what it says.
Okay. You can press Comprehend Languages on yourself. Hum yourself your little ditty that opens up your mind's eye. Give me a Arcana check soon.
Okay.
Are scimitars like a separate weapon category, or are they considered like short swords?
It's considered it. No, they are their own thing. Scimitar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A 15 Zune. You look at it. You're not one for study, Zune. You're not one for like wizard, like opening books and who needs proper schooling. And as you look at the blade, you can tell that it is a magical incantation that has been like chiseled into it. The more you study it, the more your brain hurts looking at it, because just even trying to attempt to discern these words is inviting demonic possession into one's own soul. But as you look at them, you can't make heads or tails of what exactly is inscribed. Trist did reveal what it does, whatever it does. How it does so, it's up in the air.
Do we have any scimitar capable people?
Ruzar can use the demonic blade.
If he chooses to wish whatever wants
and
to.
Pretty sure, right?
His clerical hands. Yeah, sure.
If they burn his hands.
It's not just it's a profane weapon. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Heresy.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
It is a blade.
I was about to say, his goddess is a god of weapons. I don't know the rules. You know.
Yeah. Well,
It's gray area.
what?
Yeah.
Ruzire,
I can't
like
say-
it, you might hate it. I don't know.
do you grab a hold of the blade, Ruzire?
I do. You grab it.
You grab a hold of the blade. I gotta make sure. One moment, please.
Desire, do you want that necklace again from the brothers? You just throw that on too. I have a whole set.
Just be one big demon house.
I mean,
It's messed up. It's messed up is what that is.
go all in. Have faith.
All right. This does require attunement.
Mm-hmm.
So you grasp a hold of the blade, and you feel like a strange tingling sensation in your hand. But unless you choose to attune to this weapon, no possible effects can be taken.
Got it. But I do have. You say it's basically the flame tongue scimitar.
It is a flame-tongued scimitar, which I don't know if that exists. I might have to add it myself, but
It
you
does.
can just. It does already. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. It does exist. Cool.
So if you choose
Until I
to attune to it, you have to take a short rest to attune to it.
We'll do that when we get a chance.
Okay.
I mean, are we going to take a short rest here?
That's up to you
I'll
guys.
attune to it
I
when
mean,
we
do
Matt
you-
Rogar's gathering up bodies for something.
Was. Rogar is going to proceed to decapitate all the warriors, including the
disturbing.
shackle.
Okay. Take all of their heads.
Light decapitating.
Rogar's had a rough week. You know, I mean, it's been rough. I mean,
Velree's-
he's seen Resire die multiple
Exactly.
times. You know,
You guys are collecting a lot of heads. I will remind you, you also have a dragon's head,
Follow behind you.
dragonborn's head in a
I do.
sack. Someone has
he's
it.
going to cut off their heads. The basic guys' heads. He can cut off their heads. He's going to then take their bodies and line them up on the side of the road. And then he's going to put their heads right next to their asses, every single one of them.
Okay.
And then
All right.
he's going to carve the word cowards into the trees nearby.
And like goblin or in
goblin, I would assume
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
the most common.
spend some time doing that, Rogar. Okay.
Yes, well, Tristan's identifying that was what Rogar was doing.
All right.
It's hard to concentrate, Rogar.
Don't look at me.
Yeah. Velree's over there looking at you. She's like, God, it's a waste of a perfectly good body.
Yeah, exactly.
And this takes
we
place.
should take off the head of the shackle and bring it with us in case we need to ask it some questions at a nice rest stop, you know.
Yeah, sure.
We'll kick it in the ditch.
Is the dragon head still trying to...
Are you going to pull it out?
I'm not pulling it like out in the open because I'm a little paranoid about anything flying overhead seeing.
You open the sack and look in, and yes, the mouth is still moving on the head, and the eyes are kind of like rolling around.
I'm sorry.
Stop it.
You hear subtle whispering coming from the bag.
I'm closing the bag.
Close it. You're like, oh shit, and then tie it on put it back in your pack or your belt or wherever you have it.
Subtle whispering.
Yes.
Ow.
Emanating from the head.
Rogar, I don't understand your anatomy as a species. You need lungs to speak, right?
Yes.
Then how is this head whispering without lungs?
I assume some profane or dark ritual has corrupted this being.
I think we should keep these heads separate. I don't know. It's just we need another bag.
Could be wise.
Velree goes, I'll hold on to the heads for you.
No, it's all right.
No one trusts her. She just kind of sinks down
No,
low a little bit.
I trust her. I didn't mean to be offensive. I would for you to be caught with these and for people to get the wrong idea.
Fine.
So Zun, you understand why I would like to know the locations of the Mar in your home.
No, after that fight, I have no idea why you would want to understand where they were. That was not pleasant. None of that was pleasant.
They have wronged us. We should hurt them.
I mean, where does it end exactly? Like, how many people?
We hurt them until
they're all
we
dead.
hurt them until they decide we are not worth hurting.
The
And it would
grudge has
be
been settled.
foolish to send assassins after us. Not profitable.
Okay.
It will be violent.
Will be future tense.
As this takes
getting
place,
started.
are you guys taking a short rest here?
We're gonna have to.
We're gonna move. I feel like we're gonna move a little bit further down.
Yeah,
the
okay.
bodies,
We'll say you move a little bit
in
further
case
away
some
from
police
the dead.
officers come by. Like, what the hell happened to you?
Yeah, some of the dynasty soldiers come by like, oh
Yeah.
fuck. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
fine. It's all fine.
So you guys
They
move,
deserved it.
10, 20 minutes up the road and then begin to take a kind of camp out for a short rest. Let me go ahead and pull up Velree's sheet. Go ahead, and if you guys need to roll any hit dice, you can. You'll get a short rest in.
That was dumb.
Let's see here. Find Velree's.
More like it.
Because Velree's pretty low. She's very low. All right. She's got how many hit dice? Where's her short rest?
It was the most cold breath attacks I've ever used.
Let me at least do. We'll do that. Does it not automatically heal you guys anymore? It used to.
You have to press the button.
Damn it.
So when you're selecting the dice, like some numbers pop up, and you have to press that button. You see
It
it?
used to never work for me, but this is the first time it's
Damn
actually-
it. No, it's not fucking working. I'm just gonna have to roll it myself. Let's see here. That's 1, 2, 3, 6. We'll just roll it on my right here.
Went ahead and tuned to the sword.
Okay, I'll get to you in a second. Plus 11, 63.
Kill him.
All right.
He's
God,
cooked.
she's still not.
He's got a lot of health.
Yeah, she has so much health. She's still not all the way up there.
Yeah.
Oh no, +3 on all of these. So that's 3 times plus another 18. She's still not maxed, but
She's looking better.
better.
let's do at least 2 more then. 2, 6. Additional 15. That puts her close. Close. All right, she's close enough. It's fine. All right. So, yeah, as you guys finish your short rest, I'm assuming you all begin to gather your things and begin to move towards Sylva Dorei once again. As you move forward, most of the day passes by, and it is late afternoon. So you guys have probably stopped and ate lunch or just had rations or anything along the way. When up ahead, you see something. Specifically, you see an open space. As you're beginning to get more and more trees as you get closer to the mountain range, and there's a bit of an open space. Zune, you would recognize this, and so would Trist, because Trist has been here before, as almost like a small checkpoint before getting to Sylva Dorei.
Yes.
And as you begin to approach, the open space, a crossbow bolt slams into your near feet. That's far enough. State your business.
Do we see do we see where the bolt came from?
Trist's passive is high enough that Trist sees, none of either of you see. Trist sees several humanoid shapes that are in what is a very well hidden, almost kind of like a blind, up in a few of the nearby trees. And there are 4 crossbows, heavy crossbows, pointed down towards the party.
Yeah. Start nudging Zune out.
You're within about 60 feet or so.
Well, so with my family, I imagine that we would have a certain way that we would dress. Correct?
You are a full-blood drow soon.
Not as ostentatiously as this, though.
I mean, do you just walk up? What are you gonna do soon?
The audacity. I mean, I've been through this checkpoint before. What is the custom? What is the norm?
Normally, you've never experienced this necessarily, Zoom. Go ahead and give me a history check. I will give you advantage.
Damn it.
The 5 isn't going to cut it. Let's hope the other one's better. 16. Okay. With the 16, you've heard in times of distress that in the past the city has not necessarily locked down their borders, but they've instated old practices for keeping hazardous individuals at bay. And by hazardous, I mean others of their own ilk. What are known now as deep drow.
Right.
Zoom, as you take a few steps forward.
No steps forward.
No steps forward. No, you're just kind of like at the edge with everyone else, the rest of the party. State your business.
God, sorry, I have to pull things up. I'm here to see House Zogium. Is there
And who exactly are you?
I am Krentel of House Zogium.
You hear a couple whispers.
Zoom. His name was Zoom.
Elgar, I'm just...
You hear a few whispers.
The drow can't be trusted.
I thought they were just rumors. He told me not to, generalize.
After a few minutes, several of these drow, they appear to be half drow. Their skin a little bit lighter, their ears not quite as sharp.
Not scary. I was expecting High House to come down and just help me.
You would know, Zune, you would know that many of the individuals on the surface are half drow.
Mm-hmm.
Good guards. Not quite high station as well in your society. As they come walking forward, we'll see what's what. We'll escort you, but you have to stop and meet the captain.
Do I know who the captain is?
You can well, we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, I'll go with them. There's no concern yet, as long as I have these people around.
Before you go, we've got to check you. All of you.
I never turn that down.
Well, they'll pat down.
This.
He looks over towards two of his individuals and does kind of like a hand sign. Two of them begin to walk forward. They each have it looks almost like a tuning fork. Who are they approaching first here out of your party?
Tristan Varel T-poses.
Tristan Varel kind of steps up. They move over towards him. One of them has the crossbow pointed towards your chest within about 10 feet of you. The other one moves up slowly, takes the tuning fork, places it on your chest, and smacks it. Ping! And it kind of you feel a vibration through your body, Trist. And then he quickly pulls back and grasps the hilt of his blade. They each have like short swords on their person. He doesn't draw it, almost as if they're waiting. And after about 20-30 seconds pass, and then they move to the next person.
Do we recognize what this...
You have no idea what the hell they're doing. You have no idea what they're doing. They move to Velree.
Oh, shit.
Do the same thing. No problem. They move towards Rogar. I mean, are you going to allow this, Rogar?
Yeah, Rogar just stares him down as they come up close to me.
They move up. They're much shorter than you, and they're much more thin individuals. I mean, they're elves, Rogar, lesser species. Puts the tuning fork on your chest and pings it once again. Nothing. They move to Razire. There's a bit of a snarl as they move towards Razire, a hobgoblin. They kind of like place it on his chest and tink it.
Only a recent hobgoblin.
It resonates. Yeah. Nothing, Razire. Nothing. You feel fine. Yeah, Razire kind of hums back towards them. Please stop doing that. We'll have to do it again. All right. Then they move towards Nyarla. Put on Nyarla's chest.
I forgot about her.
Ping! And it makes a different noise.
Boom.
They immediately draw back. A crossbow is readied. The
steps in front of her.
The other two guards begin to move. You step in front of her. What is that thing? What are you bringing with you?
She's our companion.
Medical attention.
Wish I knew.
She has deep blood within her.
Deep blood? Could you elaborate just a little bit? Do we know what this is?
You have no idea what they're talking about, Zoom.
Okay. Deep blood, what is that? I've been out of town for a while. I guess
all of you need to step away. We have to kill it.
No, that won't be happening.
Are you obstructing me from my duties, Drow?
No, I'm not obstructing you from your duties. I'm just saying no. Is there not another way? Could we not talk to your captain?
Why don't you give me persuasion?
Well, see your manager.
I want to see your manager.
Yeah, right.
Give me a persuasion check, June.
I'm trying to get my stuff up. Oh, shit. Should have rested. Ah, shit. This probably ain't gonna be good.
Is that a disadvantage?
Do what?
Did you roll with a disadvantage for your point of exhaustion?
No, I did not roll with disadvantage. Thank you. That was 17 for that one. I guess 17's my
17.
disadvantage.
17, he kind of like lowers his eyes, kind of like almost like slits as he stares at you, Zune. Yeah, well, if he is who he says he is. I know who he says he is. He can't be. He's been gone for too long. That fool would have died by now.
I can't agree with that.
Yeah.
Dead by now. So, yeah.
It's forbidden. He's part of the council. It's just because his father's on the council doesn't give him the run of the place. Fine. We'll take you to the captain. But that thing stays shackled. They toss a pair of shackles to you.
To me? Okay.
To place on Nyarla.
Right, I'll do a really shitty job of placing them on her.
No. Do it right.
Could I try to roll a deception, or what would that be?
You can give me a sleight of hand check, Zune.
Butterfingers.
25. Well, at disadvantage. Did you?
I think it was a little lag.
Oh, sorry.
A lag on my end. I'm sorry. Every
Sorry.
time.
Okay.
Yeah. Disadvantage. So one more. There we go. Shit, yeah, 25.
Shit.
Yeah, 25.
With a 25, you begin
Can't be trusted.
to manacle, and then they seem satiated.
Duplicitous.
The guards kind of like, okay, you two, you take the rear. The rest of you, stay close. You never know when one of those freaks might come out of the woodwork.
What freaks?
They kind of just look back at you and they don't say anything. They don't respond. They didn't check Zune. we'll see how what comes of that soon. We'll see. All right. As the rest of the way, you guys are marched towards the upper region of Sylva Dorei. Zune, you would know that the city is split between an above and below. It is known as the Twinkling Sky in Elvish. That's what Sylva Dorei means. The surface section of the city would be considered little more than a fort to your standards, towards Elven standards. But to those of you not from this realm, this would be a very nice, decent-sized town. At least the size of Brunwood, if not slightly larger. It is. It sits at the base of the mountain. There's a large cave entrance that will lead you into the under. However, this village, which has an extensive market of all manner of exotic potions known as the Underdark Exchange, various brews, poisons, and other activities can be purchased here, as well as highly skilled craftsmen offering services not easily found in the dynasty. Skilled bodyguards and assassins can be negotiated for. There is a sturdy 20-foot wall made from stone, and it's chiseled in such a way to resemble flora of the Underdark, something many of you probably have not seen. Zune intimately familiar with it. There is a raised platform behind it, with a solid roof to keep the sun's glare out of our drow lookouts' eyes, as there are many along the wall. There are these, and it's becoming later in the afternoon, there are these small pink twinkling lanterns along the tops. They are emitting a dim kind of light. It's not something that... Well, Zune has actually cast a spell that creates similar effects with it, but it appears to be a more condensed, stable form of a of drow spellcraft that is contained within these lanterns. And you would know that the people of Sylva Dorei use this same system of lighting for many things. Notable structures as there's a large like stone door that, as you approach with the various escort that you have with you, one of them on the wall calls down, "More travelers, eh? Ah, they're here. We got to bring them to the captain, to the garrison." All right. You can find her at the. You can find her within the Terith garrison. No problem. All right, good. Let's go. The door kind of like slides open. It doesn't hardly make any noise as it does so. And you've noticed all of these individuals are mostly half drow. That you are running by or are seeing for the first time. They are armed, not in anything super heavy, the equivalent of like chainmail or even just like studded leathers, things of that sort. Most of them do have heavy crossbows at hand, as well as some kind of curved blade, be it a scimitar or or some kind of short sword or a long sword on their person. As you move into the central city structure, you would see that as it kind of like curves, it has a slight curve upwards towards the base of the mountain. There are several notable structures, including what, well, let me get Tristan. Let me get Trist for sure. Give me a perception check, Trist.
Whoops. That is a 14.
14. Not going to be good enough. Trist, as you kind of look out, you don't take in some of the more notable things that haven't really changed since the last time you've been here. Same thing for Zune. There's nothing really out of the sorts. Zune, you would know but though you cannot tell, you would know that there are hidden lookout towers embedded into the mountain above the town. There is a massive, large bazaar, sprawling bazaar, and accompanying shops towards the center within these walls. The Embassy of External Affairs is here as well. It is a place where the emissaries and the ambassadors of other nations can meet above ground and to do their bidding. There's a chief emissary that handles most of the large-scale work that works in this place. There are various younger politicians interact here and resolve disputes with outside races. There's of course the barracks housing the elite guard, as well as the commander of the above garrison, the Detirith, who you may meet soon. Most of the full-time denizens that you pass by on your way to the garrison do appear to be half-drow, more suitable for interacting with races and not as sensitive to bright light. You do see a handful of full drow as you move about. Most of them appear to be in some kind of captain rank, or not necessarily captain, but like a sergeant rank, like slightly above the average guardsman. But living above is considered a less than desirable station in Sylva Dorei. As you approach a large garrison structure built more like a small fort, able to withstand a minimal siege, nothing too heavy. Completely made from stone and very intricately carved with various, not just statuesque elements about it, but lots of just beautiful floral decorations and various small underdark creatures kind of crawling around on it that have been carved out of sheer stone that are almost if you weren't looking at it closely, you might think that might be something that's actually just there sitting. And as you move forward, two guards with spears at the edge of the fort, wearing much heavier and more silver-plated armor, move towards the doors and open them outwards, pull them outwards as you are marched into the barracks itself. Within, lit in the pink, dimmish light, are a handful of guardsmen that are kind of gathering things. There is a large desk where it looks like there's a guardsman behind there that is giving out assignments, it looks like, handing out assignments to several of the guardsmen. And as he looks up, what do we have here? Well, we've got a possible contaminant over there. You see many of the guardsmen stop in their place and then turn to look, hearing the nature of the words. And you brought it here? What were you thinking? It's more complicated than you think. By the gods. How stupid can you be? And he looks up and he begins to stand up. And you hear a voice boom out from a different room, kind of in the behind. That is enough! And everybody gets eerily quiet. As they look back, as a figure steps out of the office. A slight of frame, drow, female. You can tell she's a full drow, much more longer ears, much more purplish skin. And she appears to be middle-aged by normal humanoid standards, which means she's probably quite old for a drow. And she has a long sword on her hip in heavy silver-plated armor about her person, with a twinkling purplish cape that drapes about her shoulders, marking her station. As you have now in front of you the commander of the above garrison. I will take it from here. I think I know this one. Send them my way. The guardsman kind of nods his head and begins to march, begins to kind of usher the rest of you forward. If you were following.
Forward, yes. Not resisting.
Very good, Thulri. Just leave them with me. Yes, Commander. as he kind of like bows his head and then leaves you. The other three guardsmen, I'll be fine. Leave them in here. Close the door behind you. Yes, Commander. And they all begin to move out. All of you are shuffled into this large office. There's a stone desk in the like towards kind of the back wall. Various stacks of paper and parchment. Several of these pinkish lanterns inside of here, illuminating the inside. There is a small barred window nearby with a layer of glass that's what's that glass you can't really see through? It's kind of like opaque, yeah, opaque glass, where you can't really discern what's outside, but it's kind of like all shimmery and sparkly. There is a collection of books behind her. Most of them appear to be well used on several bookshelves. And she motions towards Zune.
Acquiescing.
Granel, it has been some time.
Who is she?
You do know that this is, when you left, this was but a captain on the watch. However, you do know her as Velree de Vala. She apparently now is the commander of the above garrison.
Devala, it's been too long. I see you've done quite well for yourself.
Well, it helps when the former commander was had his throat slit not too long ago.
It's unfortunate how these accidents keep happening.
I wouldn't call it an accident, but that's neither here nor there. Surely you had nothing to do with it, your family in particular. Very upstanding citizens, aren't they?
Only the best.
Yes, the best. She moves back to her large kind of like cushion chair. It's kind of like purple fabric on it behind her desk. And she motions, there's only 2 seats in front of you. She motions for somebody to take a seat. I'm sorry to be rude, but I don't have enough for all of you.
Being the only, I guess, in the hierarchy of things, Zune would be considered next under her, so I guess he will take that seat. Of course, kind of eyeballing it for traps first, like.
Go ahead, give me an investigation check, Zune. At disadvantage. Go ahead.
What is it? Which check?
Investigation.
It's probably not going to be good. Okay, 1. Shit.
A 9. It looks good, Zune. Looks real good. You look down, you're like, it's well worn. It's nice leather fabric. Yeah, sure. It's it's all good. You tentatively sit down in the seat. There's a creaking noise of the leather moving. Somebody, it sounds like you farted, even though you probably didn't.
So I have to do it many times to make sure everyone knows it doesn't.
And then, you gotta do the rock, so everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows it wasn't you. The other seat by you goes unclaimed. Tris, do you want to take a seat? I mean, it's.
if there's a second seat, I will take a seat.
Yeah, Nyarla moves to sit down, and then Tris kind of pushes her aside and sits down. Kind of like bursts his coat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, men of action, I see. Yes, exactly. How chivalrous of both of you. Well, this creature you've brought with you, how do you know it?
It's a long story. It's a very long story, but she is seeking attention I should rephrase that. She's seeking some assistance with something she has been dealing with, a certain ailment that's very strange. And
strange, yes.
Very strange.
Very, yeah. Oh, yeah. Much has changed since you've left soon. Not sure exactly what your family has to do with it.
Nothing, I'm sure.
A lot of bodies have been dropping lately. A lot of them, in fact.
In the sky, or
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say we have found many people assassinated, dead,
that's unfortunate.
grievously wounded, burned, marked blades across their throats, bellies, number of ways. Not the usual riffraff that your family is up to. Something a little different. I'm curious, you wouldn't know anything about this, would you, Granel?
Well, seeing as I've been gone for a while and I've just returned and I did not know what deep blood was, I guess I can honestly say no, I actually have no idea what is going on, but at least it benefited you in some way, some very small way, correct?
Well, that's there are some perks to being the last woman standing. However, I see no reason for me to give you too many answers. I don't like you. I don't think anybody in this room I much care for, to be honest with you. A bunch of low-life scum. The lot of you.
I can't actually argue with that, but that's fair.
Well, seeing as how you are in the presence of a contaminant, I am obligated to imprison you. All of you.
Really?
Yes.
That's unfortunate. Is there no recourse?
No. You will be marched to your cells.
Mhm.
Now, should you choose to resist, I will let it be known that you, a prominent member of the noble family of the council, resisted my just and righteous actions. And who knows what might befall your household.
That's a very good point. How exactly will our arrest be communicated to anyone else, or will it be communicated to anyone if we fail?
You know. Come now, Granel. You know how fast war travels. Everyone saw you walk in here. How many spies did yours family have on the streets, yet alone every other family on that council?
It's been a minute. It sounds like, from what you've said, a lot less than before, but what do I know of the prisons? Just curious. Do I have
prison?
Yeah. Do I have any idea what kind of shithole we're
So, from what you understand,
playing?
Trist has knowledge of the prison system here as well, just due to the nature of his previous work he may have attended to here. You would know that to be incarcerated is not exactly a thing in your society. You can be temporarily jailed until you have a hearing, and you are either deemed innocent or have to pay some kind of minor or possibly major recompensation for whatever happened, or you are found ultimately like guilty on all fronts and you are exiled into the deep.
And as far as the deep goes, what do we know about that? Would Zune have gone
That would
down?
be the Underdark. You are exiled into the Underdark.
Have we gone down there before? Would I have any idea of how to get out?
You live in the Underdark. However, you know, Zune, that it is one of the most hazardous environments one could venture through. There are many dark, scary things, let alone the nature of the environment itself being lethal to normal individuals.
So my only recourse is to either humiliate my family or not have to deal with them at all.
Well, I also have a full garrison of men that will kill you, shall you not move to your cell.
Tristan Braille's going to cast message to Zune.
Okay.
Zune, you seem like you know this person. Is there any way you can sweeten this pot? We have money. I'm not familiar with who this person is. I'll leave that up to your best judgment, though.
I I'd rather just be banished into the darkness to die, but
I prefer not to. I would rather take my chances in the cell than get banished down there. But
well, given
I am
your
a male and I am not full drow. So I'm keeping my mouth shut as much as I can.
Damn it. Yeah, they probably wouldn't make it in the Underdark. Well, given your position and the uncomfortable position I find myself in, is there anything that could occur that might make you a little bit more amenable to my situation? Is there anything, I'm not explicitly stating that anything inappropriate should take place, but is there anything that could improve your situation in life while not making my situation worse? Thing I could do, or possibly my family.
Give me a persuasion check soon. I wouldn't. Yeah, persuasion check.
Mm.
$17.
Those are bad.
It's not bad.
Oh man.
She looks at you, Zune. The above commander kind of like strokes her chin. Your family is a scourge on our society. We all know, all of us know that you are treacherous, conniving, self-serving individuals that deserve nothing than the exile of your fellow brethren. I cannot prove it myself, but perhaps you can be of some use after all. Of course, I will have to jail you for a small amount of time. Call it a few days. Just out of looks. You will be fed, you will be taken care of nicely, all of you, in fact. The thing you have with you, I am inclined to dispose of. However, it has come to my attention that many of my investigators have died horrible deaths recently, and there have been numerous murders about. And I may, in fact, need some aid in solving them. And she looks towards Trist in particular.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to help me, perhaps I can help you.
You're going to throw us in jail for a few days and then we are supposed to help you?
Just
Razire speaks and she looks daggers at Razire.
Just damn it. I believe that these terms are fair.
Very well. To your cells, please.
And we will go to our cells without any issue.
The door opens. Several of the guards kind of come in. There's like 3 guys with crossbows, like pointed at the door as it opens up. All right, now you heard the captain. Almost as if they were listening in the whole time.
Razire being nothing but a, what used to be some sort of a bag is now a makeshift loincloth with a simple.
Exactly. He's almost unclothed.
That's it. That's all I got. That's me. That's who I am right now.
As you guys are somewhat marched, Nyarla in tow. She's scared beyond belief. Now, I will mention.
Did this conversation take place in
I was
Elvish?
going to mention this all takes place in Elvish. So unless you speak Elvish, you do not know what is happening.
What is happening?
Exactly. None of you are, Nyarla looks frightened just because people keep pointing at her and being aggressive towards her, essentially.
How aggressive are we talking here?
Not like
aggressive.
you could just tell that there is some aggression. No one has gotten close to her or anything like that.
Rogar's sticking real close to Darla.
Yeah, Rogar's over there trying to body block.
Yeah.
You guys are moved to a large holding cell, almost like a drunk tank. They kind of open up, thick iron bars on it, and you are all funneled inside. The door is closed and locked.
That's fine.
And you guys will be spending a week within this cell. However, you guys get extended rest, and you can level up to level 12 while you're in the cell. So there is that. Since you slew the center, you've done enough to rank up here. I'll let Velree do hers whenever the time comes. However,
Tristan Burrell's been doing prison workouts, doing push-ups.
Yeah, exactly. Doing some workouts,
push-ups, doing crunches.
You guys are all served food. You are Razire is given a new set of like dirty clothes to wear several times. The rest of you
not barely naked now.
Yeah, they don't like bathe you, but they feed you.
Not getting armor.
Yeah. They feed you at the least. They do take, I will say, as part of the process, all of you are stripped of your belongings, like held in like large chests outside of your reach. And within the same room, nobody's like hiding your shit or anything. It's just out of reach as you guys spend a week in the cell block. At the end of the week, early on the 7th day, a door opens. A drunk bugbear stumbles in, being pushed in his back, the spear in his back. Come on. And they kind of like move him towards the tank that you guys are on. They're like, oh, nah, leave them be. Move him to the next one. And they kind of like stumble him into the next cell block, open it up, slam it. As they do so, they move over towards yours. Captain wants to meet with one of you. Who's it gonna be?
I'm imagining she probably wants to meet with Trist, but
what?
Go ahead and build.
Zune or Trist, yeah.
Zune?
I'll
Trist?
go ahead.
Zune? Yeah. Zune steps forward. They chuckle and they shut the gate behind you, relock it, and they escort you to the commander's office, Zune. There you see Vonria Devala in all her glory. She has her back to you, kind of arms locked behind her, glancing over some of her shelves as you were ushered in and sat down. Zune! That's your name you go by now. I've been informed.
Perhaps you've heard.
Oh, and I have heard many things in this past week. Our emissaries working far and wide. Zune Olen, the traveling minstrel of renown, slayer of gods, demons, and beyond. Made quite the name for yourself. It's all lies, of course.
I wish. How may I help you, Deval?
Granel? Let's be truthful to one another. We both know I can't hold you forever, even if I wanted to. Your family's been weaseling into the inner workings of my organization since you arrived. They want you badly, quite badly. Why, I don't know. I'm half tempted to just hand you over to them and see what happens. In particular, your older sister has been asking very fervently for you. I will say, I might be able to help you. I have lost 3 more men since last we spoke. died a miserable death. And it appears that the Under has also suffered several losses at this point. And as you can tell, things get serious when people in the actual city start perishing. You have the elf in your party, and from your tales, you have companions of some sort. The last time he was here, he solved a great many issues. We need this done quite badly. I have no idea why you have returned, but I will give you access to the Under through my own channels, separate from your family, if you'd wish to aid us.
And if we were to aid you, what is to ensure our safety and our ability to leave unscathed? Everyone that I've arrived with.
Well, as far as safety is concerned, I can guarantee no safety for any of you. You know the city is dangerous on its best day. However, I have already greased a few palms, and let's just say that for now, your creature will go unnoticed.
I believe this is a suitable arrangement.
Very well. Suggest you give the run of the town. The last guardsmen I lost were last seen at the Thirsty Mark. It doesn't open until late, but Taitlin still runs the tavern.
Understood. And if we were to be released today, would my family be aware of my release?
As far as they know, you're still in prison. You're still jailed.
This is becoming a more and more agreeable situation. So, all right.
Do we have an accord?
I believe we do.
Very well. She escorts you back to the cell block. She opens up the door, the gate, the cell door for all of you. Looks at Trist, kind of looks him up and down at his shredded bod that he's been developing over the past week. He goes, interesting. No offense to any of you. It was all business. She speaks in Goblin towards all of you. You have free run of the above for now. And she walks over to the footlocker, like chests containing your items, unlocks them, and allows you to collect your gear.
Yeah.
You are then escorted out of the barracks. And as you are leaving, she says one last thing to Krentel. Oh, by the way, one of your sisters has taken a job of sorts above. Something to do with a debacle down below. I think it's some kind of ostracization.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can find her at the Red Hourglass.
Internally, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Trist, you know the Red Hourglass well. That's all I'm going to say.
Is he speaking in Elvish still?
Yes.
So what is the red hourglass? I imagine Zune would know as well. Is it a
Zune? The red hourglass below is a pleasure district of all kinds of carnal desire that you can imagine. However, there is like a small subsection of it in the above, not nearly as esteemed. Like in this society, it would not necessarily be a diminished profession to work in such a place. It might even be celebrated by some. However, working above is kind of diminutive for lessers.
Yeah.
It's not just, skin trade here. We're talking about like the full treatment of all of the excesses you can imagine at your disposal.
Carnival cruise ship of brothels. Okay. Well, then I will thank her for her time, and I will make my ensemble as boring as humanly possible. I don't want to stand out here.
Okay.
And
shifted it around to look similar to some of the the kind of like drow attire. Yeah. They mostly wear, at least from what you've seen, it's still winter outside. It's still snowing every once in a while. However, they appear to be bundled up, not quite as much as many of the people in the Dynasty wore, as if perhaps they're used to being somewhat uncomfortable, not necessarily uncomfortable, but somewhat cold, just in their normal environment. They do have like various furs on some of the soldiers and some of the other like passerbys. And as you guys move out into the like general populace of this above city, you experience a multitude of races here. The majority would be half drow and then some drow, but you see bugbears, you see goblins, you see hobgoblins, you see various other individuals, including contingent of Dragonborn. You see, at one point, you see a contingent of Duragar, which some of you may have run into before, kind of all walking together, going about their business. Most of these foreigners, the ones that look like they're more not like adventuring types or workers of some kind, dressed in more noble-like attire, are mostly going to the, are mostly venturing towards the shit. I'm losing my head. The embassy of external affairs. But you guys have the run of the town for now. You can hit up the bazaar. There's tons of things to do and see within the above.
Is Nyarla with us?
Nyarla is with you.
Okay. Rogar is going to, since he also was working out in prison, doing sets with Trist.
You and Trist? I imagine you training Trist, Rogar?
Yes, he was my spotter.
He's your spotter.
Push yourself.
Push yourself. Push yourself. No, not enough.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rogar increased his strength, so he's not going to need his gauntlets of ogre power anymore.
Oh, shit.
So he'll give them to Razire if he would like.
Razire?
Razire, if you equip the gauntlets, you'll get a 19 strength.
What is this?
The gauntlets of ogre strength.
Gauntlets of ogre power.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, gauntlets of ogre power.
Gives them to you. They were found within the destroyed vessel within the woods.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, gauntlets of ogre strength.
Yeah, they kind of look like these metallic overpower.
Yeah.
These kind of like ogre, these kind of like metallic, like rivets, almost like a chain gauntlet, or not a chain, but like a plate gauntlet that just goes all the way up, almost to the shoulder, like Jax, kind of from Mortal Kombat. So as you put them on,
that worked out pretty good.
Yeah. Look at him. Look how happy he is. He's got a sweet sword. He's got ogre strength gauntlets.
What happens with the sword? We never.
I
that.
tuned
As
it
he,
to, oh yeah,
as
we
he
didn't,
attuned to it.
yeah.
Um,
Hasn't taken over my soul yet.
no, there is no binding effects to your soul desire.
However,
You are attuned to a profane weapon. Not necessarily something against your tenants.
Yeah.
Your goddess is quite neutral in all aspects.
Yeah. And it is a nice sword.
It is.
Seeing that she's, goddess of blades and all.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks badass in my big ass.
It does look badass.
Glove hands.
It does. It does. Looks good.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Let Zoom tell me where to get some nice clothes, though.
Quintel. He says Quintel.
I said Zoom. Or should I say Quintel?
Quintel.
I am not sure what has transpired. Past few days, what deal you made? What are our objectives?
Well, I'm going to start speaking in Elvish to Trist.
No. Shit.
Sorry. Just, I don't know what it is you did the last time you came here, but apparently a condition of our free reign is you effectively solving additional mysteries. Something about something that we were discussing earlier in her office together. So, I'm afraid you really don't have a choice in the matter. I don't believe any of us do. But, yes, I just wanted you to be aware that is the only reason we are out here right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I solve problems for people here in exchange
This is very
for significance. Sums of money that I like to blow immediately.
Sherlock. That's pretty cool.
Did she give you any type of timeline? Do we need to start right away, or?
She did not. Though I would assume that urgency is important.
Well, it's been a long time since we've been in a proper city. I said we take the day to enjoy ourselves, possibly the night to enjoy ourselves as well.
Well, it is be well rested and well fed and comfortable.
It is. Zune. I'm still going to call you Zune occasionally. I think it's time we become proper friends and we spend a night out on the town. I've been itching to go back to my comfort spots.
Velree just kind of like looks at him like.
She speaks Elvish too. So.
She does. She also speaks Elvish, like all of you.
I'm going to make assumptions, but I've always assumed Trist was a virgin at this point, so I may not know what he's talking about.
Damn. Shots fired.
I'm not saying this out loud to Trist. It just.
You have the city.
You look like a virgin.
The city is your oyster here.
Velree right there, and he just. I've never seen him make a move.
I know. Maybe there's reasons why.
The bloodsucker. Is that it?
So there's the bazaar.
There's a massive sprawling bazaar full of all kinds of shops and specialty places.
If the party would like to browse the bazaar for possibly armor, clothing.
What is happening?
I'm speaking this in Goblin.
Well, I still ask what is happening.
Well, there are situations afoot, and yes, I am Zune. So yes, please can call me Zune.
Why do they call you Quintel?
I don't think they call me Quintel.
Remember, old guy, when I told you that the drow are sometimes shifty and can't be
Yes,
I heard the name.
But
Quintel
anyway.
every time they looked at you. Is that an Elvish word for something else?
It's
Not
word for proper name.
Well, you know what a stage name is, don't you, Rogar?
I am aware.
Yes, Zune is my stage name. There you go. I mean, Crintel, like, could you imagine a bard running around named Crintel? No, Zunalin, it kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit better.
What are we doing here?
We are walking around freely. There was a misunderstanding that has been resolved with a new understanding, and Trist is going to lead the charge, and we are going to assist him, and he is going to take us to indulge in his vices. I have no idea what his vices are beyond drugs, so I am fully on board.
Put my hand on Rogar's shoulder. You're gonna need to put your monocle on quite a bit on this one. But first, Rogar, we are going to spend some of this hard-earned money that we have acquired.
Weapons, yes. A prudent choice.
Yes. Weapons, armor, clothing for our naked friend here.
Yes, he is still naked.
As you guys, I'm assuming you're moving into the bazaar at this point.
To the bazaar.
Okay. You begin to move in the direction of the bazaar.
Shopping time.
You guys are looking specifically for like a clothing, kind of like armor or something like that. You pass numerous stalls that sell like clothing. Some of it very fine, some of it from distant lands. Strange indeed. However, nothing that like screams out protection or anything of that sort. However, Trist, at one point you start to hear something. You hear a tink, tink. You hear the sound of a hammer on anvil. Yes. You know there must be a shop nearby that maybe can meet your needs. You turn, and in this sprawling bazaar that you guys are kind of like moving your way through. I imagine it kind of like a kind of like a Middle Eastern kind of like bazaar setup here, just stalls and just shit running places, just all kinds of things, people talking, people trading, yelling, screaming at each other, people getting bumped into their shoulders. And you run across a much more large setup. This one specifically has a sign in Elvish, also in Goblin, dangling above it. And it says the Weeping Furnace. It appears to be a smithy of some kind. It's open air. There is a large furnace that is being manned by a heavily muscled female. She appears to be a half-drow by her skin tone and her ears. Her back is to you. She's currently hammering out, it looks to be like possibly a blade. Her work is on display on one of the nearby walls. There are two other half-drow that are kind of like managing the shop in addition to just her. But herself, she appears to be the smith. She's actually working at the on the anvil. But as all of you begin to approach, one of the attendants kind of walks up to you. A male. Welcome, friends. Welcome to the Weeping Furnace. How may I help you? This is the finest arms and armors, tailored by elven hands.
Rogar, that means it's the best.
You wouldn't by chance happen to have any mithril?
Strange word. The smith puts down her hammer. She's working on the anvil. She has like goggles on. There's like soot stains as she kind of moves them away, where her eyes are clean. Her eyes are like kind of like a jet, like purplish color. She looks towards all of you. She is shirtless. However, there's like a cloth kind of like binding her chest and kind of her like stomach. She's heavily muscled, and all of it is like covered in soot. There's just like a pair of like simple light trousers about her person, and a like a smithy smock that's been draped over the top of this. She has a purple head covering, keeping her hair bound and out of the way of her work. As she approaches, we don't deal in that shitty metal here.
Oh. Sorry if I offended you. I was just looking for something to protect myself.
She
what kind of metal do
shoos
you-
her attendants away. I'll deal with these troublesome individuals. This is my smithy. Will not have you bad-mouthing my work. What would you like?
I apologize for any offense. I needed some type of protection for myself, and I cannot wear the regular sets of armor that most people can.
She squints at you, Trist, as you're speaking. Don't I know you?
You might.
Okay.
The name's Tristan Varel.
Varel, yes. The Red Hourglass.
Yes.
I don't expect you to remember me.
Like I said, I apologize.
Insight check on her.
Your name?
Inside check on who? Zune. On her or Trist?
I feel bad if I ask her for her name. I gotta play this off.
No, Trist. Did you say her name?
No, I'm sitting there staring at her. Oh, yes. I remember now.
And she looks at you. She's going to make an insight check. Trist.
That was some time ago.
Make a deception check, please, Trist.
Okay, so 15 insight on her like, is this like a favorable
Why
exchange?
are you rolling that?
Are you rolling that? Don't let him re-roll it.
It's worse.
Worse. 3. Zune, you look at her, and she appears to not be. She doesn't appear to be stressed in any way, but she kind of smirks as Trist is obviously pretending to recognize who she is, and she obviously can tell he does not. It's fine. We were, they make you wear the masks and everything. I just heard them speaking of you. Now, Ceres Felis. I am, of course, the humble daughter of the Felis clan. We've been running this smithy for generations. My great-great-grandfather ran the same smithy when the division took place. Sorry, we got off on the wrong foot. Armor, you say? Well,
I mean, I apologize myself.
It's fine. I have, of course, any weapon that you'd like at your disposal. There's any standard weapon that you could desire can be purchased here. For a whopping 4 gold pieces. Each weapon. They are finely crafted. They look beautiful. Most of them look like works of art as opposed to normal weaponry. However, you would know, all of you would recognize that they are, in fact, very much lethal. In addition to that, there are a set of weapons, somewhat separate, that have elvish runes inscribed upon them. And she kind of like brings you over to them. This is on the way. I might as well show you everything. This is our fine work. I craft most of these myself. Some of my assistants can do some of the work, but these are special. She coats her. She kind of like draws her hand over one of them. Be careful! Don't touch the blade. As she pulls forth a dagger and kind of like hands it to you, Trist.
Oh.
You hold it and you kind of look at it. Venom blades, a specialty of my work. Everything you see here can be venomed.
She said they all cost 4 gold?
That was for a standard blade.
Okay.
A venom blade is going to set you back 800 gold pieces.
Ooh.
But it's a venom blade, but it can be any weapon.
Yeah.
You then spy something setting above all of these, kind of like to the left of them, kind of on like a display, kind of off the wall, high. It appears to be interesting enough, it appears to be a katana. It has a dark purple hint to the blade itself, with a grip and handle that is inlaid with gold and silver, and a purple binding. There is a sheath for it as well. That's kind of like displayed near it, and it's just kind of like sitting there outwards. She walks right past it, not even introducing it.
I wish I could use weapons.
Well,
there's something Brogar would like in this shop, or Zune. Desire.
It would be a two-handed. It's large. It would be a two-handed katana.
Razire does need armor.
That weapon there. What is that?
She looks back at you, Rogar. Ah, that is a mark of disdain on my family. The great debacle. That is Dream Kiss. Forged by one of my ancestors, it was originally a gift for a general of the Shogun. But sadly, it was never finished. Priceless to my family. I could not sell it to any of you. It is more or less just displayed here out of practice. She moves. Right. She then moves. Are you going to say something, Rogar?
You said you were ashamed.
Yes, great shame. It is, first off, it was rejected by the recipient. And then it was come to find out that it was, in fact, not inscribed properly. My great-grandfather was a bit of a shit, and he is the reason why we work above ground.
Is it poorly made? Is it a bad one?
Oh, no. No, it is fine material. It is just the magical nature of its abilities do not function. I would need dangerous materials to complete.
What was it supposed to do?
The Dream Kiss.
Yes.
Well, they said when you wield it, you could literally see the dreams of others. You could willingly put those that could fall to sleep asleep. And of course, you could, the myth says you could manipulate the will of other beings.
So these materials you would need that are so dangerous to acquire, what kinds of materials?
Well, I would need several. There are several beasts in the Underdark that I would need properties taken from.
Those properties and beasts.
You would like are you offering to help me in this?
I am not guaranteed, but we have been known to slay a beast.
You all look rather tough. Maybe you could do it. I'll tell you what. Meet me tomorrow, around this time, and I'll have a full list for you. Should you complete the list, I would be happy to loan you the sword.
Very well. Please continue.
Very well. She brings you to a collection of finely crafted armor of all shapes and sizes. You have everything from leathers to plate, all basic stuff. However, she moves past that. All of the basic armors you can purchase for 20 gold pieces. depending on anywhere from 10 to 20, depending on what you want. She then moves past that to another like display, and you see this chainmail armor made with almost like blackened metal. It twinkles like it is like starlight. There are like green and kind of like bluish. Well, there's more blue. There's more like a bluish kind of like aura about parts of it. This is the best armor I can create, at least with my abilities.
What is this?
Well, it's forged with ember first. One of the hardest substances to work with. This, due to its nature, it enhances spellcraft. Those that could not wear armor can usually benefit from this this item. This is Elven Chain.
And what would something like this run?
Well, a set of Elven Chain will run you 2,000 gold pieces.
2,000. And do you just have the one set, or do you have multiple?
You see at least 6 to 7 sets of chain.
I look over to Zune. In case Zune wants a set.
I'm not against this.
You would be losing your illusion zone.
This is true, but I could keep the armor still and just pull it out for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Brogar, what are the funds looking like in the coppers? So it'd be 4,000?
If you wanted to get 2 sets, yeah. It will fit anyone. She can size this to fit anybody. Like, for instance, I don't know, maybe somebody who doesn't have any armor on, Razire.
I need armor.
I mean, Razire might want the standard 20 gold armor.
Now, I can tell you, in addition to just being like chainmail, it's a magical chainmail. It's like a +1 chainmail, basically. When you put it on, it's actually pretty good.
That's all that's all I had before I got naked. It was just a chainmail anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just so Razire knows as well, though. Razire, you are a strong boy now. So
you are.
You can wear plate.
You can wear plate armor if you wanted to now.
That is true, because I'm big boy.
Yeah, because you're enhanced.
Yeah. So, just so you know. But as far as gold is concerned, we have 10 gold bars left. We've been going through
of money.
Jesus.
I believe they're 1,600 gold apiece. So,
was it 16 or was it 1,200?
Maybe it's 1,200.
I think it's 1,200.
I think it was 1,200.
1,200.
I see what you're doing, bastard.
Inflation.
Inflating. You know, it's worth more here. What can I say?
What can I say? You know? Yes, 10 for 1,200. So we do have enough to buy a few sets if you guys would like some.
Mm-hmm.
What is it called again?
Elven Chain.
Elven Chain. Would even be worth it.
Ceres.
Is that what it is?
Anyone
Tristan's buying a set.
Trist, like for instance, Trist is a wizard. Wizards are not allowed to wear armor. Trist can wear this.
And we're buying at least one set.
And there's no detriment. Okay.
Let's buy 2.
Ceres, I'm just going to throw this out here. We have acquired some items on our travels. I don't know if you were the type that also deals in trade.
A bit.
Pull out Exhibit A. Rogar, what's in this bag of holding?
Well.
That we have been holding on to and never used.
I know there's a giant trident in there. A giant silver trident that you guys took off a dead Merid.
That is Exhibit A.
Yeah.
It's
big.
Giant. I believe it was the size of a pipe.
Yeah, it's like large sized, so it's massive.
Silver.
Roger goes, pulled up this big ass trident. He goes, places it. She's like, wow. Why do you have that?
We took it off the body of Mareed.
Huh.
Familiar with the creatures.
No idea. Begins to look it over.
From the elemental plane of water.
Yeah, she smells it. She goes, oh, it smells like fish.
It has the ability, the creature that wielded it had the ability to grant wishes.
I'm sure they did. I can tell you this isn't magical.
Oh, I am aware. But perhaps the story behind it could fetch a higher price.
I don't deal in stories, friend.
You're missing out.
Too.
I'd be willing to negotiate with it, though, depending on what you need.
I'm not going with the elven armor, by the way. I'm going to it looks like I'm just going to end up with the same stats. I'll forego it.
You got a lot of
So Trist and Razire so we're getting 2 sets? Okay. Before you subtract the gold.
But is there plate armor here, though?
There is regular plate armor.
Okay.
That might be better for
Could get
Razire.
that.
Yeah, I would probably recommend just
Kind of
regular
plate
plate.
is it?
You know,
The plate is 20 gold pieces. It's just
It's
regular.
just
It's just regular plate armor. Yeah.
Rogar, that's chump change, Rogar. Oh,
Hmm.
If
Jump chains for Rogar.
Yeah, I mean,
Bastards.
we're not
Just
gonna
throw on some
barter with
plate
this
armor,
woman.
man. It's fine.
Fuck that.
if-
Pay that.
Unless-
Oh yeah.
it's like a better set of plate, I don't know if there's a better set of plate.
Not that you've seen
Wow,
so far.
+1 plate,
Okay,
maybe.
so far, we'll wait on the plate until we see. We'll just see. But how much would you give me for the trident?
She looks it over. It is made of semi-precious metal. I mean, silver's not hard to come by. I'll give you 150 gold for it.
Zune, does this sound like a fair price?
Insight check.
Sure, Zoom. Give me an insight check. Is that a 2? Is that what I said?
22.
Oh, 22. Sorry. Looking at her, you could tell that bargaining is beginning to take place. She could probably go higher.
Hmm.
Rogar's not the biggest haggler, so he wouldn't care if it was relatively close. But
How much was she asking for?
150.
She's asking for 150, but it seems like she could definitely increase that price easily and
Probably. You see by some of her mannerisms that she's not she doesn't look uncomfortable yet.
She doesn't look uncomfortable yet.
I mean, I think the gold bar and this trident's a fair,
Yeah.
unless that is undervaluing.
Is that what you guys are going to pitch?
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, that'd be good.
I can tell you the bar's worth only 1,200.
Mhm.
150 for the trident. That's you're still short, my friends.
Damn. My good looks. What else we got in there?
Well, you guys want to? You guys could always attempt to persuade. her.
I have no idea what's in the bag, so unless someone wants to persuade,
There's not much in the bag besides
Okay.
gold bars because gold bars weigh a lot. So
They do.
I mean, I'm fine throwing down a second gold bar unless someone wants to barter.
Well, first,
so-
did we catch her name at all?
Saris.
Yeah,
Ferris?
she told you her name.
Hmm?
It's
Saris Phyllis?
Naceris.
Miss
Not
Saris.
Naceris.
Oh,
Naceris
no
Phyllis.
Saris.
Oh, mon chéri, how short can we be, huh? To take what is on the table now? Come on.
Give me a
We'll sport your
persuasion
fine
check,
goods around-
Razire.
Hmm?
Give me a persuasion check, Razire.
Oh, yes.
I'm actually like,
Oh, it's only a 14.
A 14. She kind of like rolls her eyes at Razire. You're gonna have to do a little better than that.
I will do a dance just for you.
Rogar slides another 200 gold.
Slide her 200 gold. She looks at it, looks at you, Rogar, looks down at it again.
Desires doing jazz hands.
Looks back at Rogar. You meet me for a drink tonight. We'll call it even.
Oh,
Deal.
Excuse me.
Deal. Says deal.
We're already going out drinking tonight.
Trist is pimping him out. Just pimping him
Rogar's
out.
just like, I'm comfortable.
This woman is large and strong. That is
Now,
very appealing.
I mean, she's an elf though. She's not like.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, you could tell from a physically she looks strong.
She's pretty hot for an elf.
Got those defined muscles.
I would say for elven culture, she would not be considered beautiful because she's like muscular. But for like a normal person, you'd be like, oh yeah, maybe.
She's athletic.
Yeah.
Very well. He pushes over the gold bar, the trident, 200 gold.
Okay. And Trist has elven chain. Look at him. Look at him.
Made it. I did it. I'm done.
Well,
go home.
I better get back to work. Yes?
Is there any specialized plates you have for my friend?
I could make
So
some.
I didn't get the plate yet.
You would have just regular plate armor. I don't have any more magically crafted, but I could work on something if you'd like to commission a piece.
How long would it take?
Clara, if you want me to use Ember crafted into it, it would take some time. A few weeks, at least.
I think we'll be here that long. If you all...
Okay. Very well. How much does it cost to commission a piece?
If you're looking, it depends on the piece, of course, but if we're speaking of plates, I could probably do a full set of plate for 3,000 gold.
Out of Ember?
Yes, it would be considered magical plate. I will give you the details of the magic if it's ever completed.
Very well. Do you require payment up front?
I would require at least half.
Throw another bar.
Rogar puts down 2 bars.
Okay. That's 20. That's more than enough. Do you want her to give you change?
Well, the 2 bars is only...
There's 2,400.
2,400, so still... You said it's more... It's half,
this is a down payment.
Yeah, she wanted half as down payment.
Half up front, half on completion.
Rogar doesn't require the other half.
Okay. You put the 2 bars down. She says, "Very well. Most of it up front. That's fine. It'd only be." She has like an abacus. 600 gold when you come back.
Very well.
I will get to work right away, and I'll see you tonight. She gives you a wink, Rogar.
What time do you get off?
Once the moon is high in the sky, I will be about the tavern. There's only one tavern to really drink at here. The rest of them are swill.
I will see you then.
The thirsty market is. And she moves back towards her anvil and begins scurrying for calls one of her attendants over looking for plans, possibly in the event of making some armor.
Rogar's going to buy a set of regular plate for Rosiah to hold him over.
Okay. 20 gold. Subtract that. Rosiah, you get plate armor. It is finely crafted, very fancy looking plate.
Filigree?
It is filigreed. Now I will say, Rosiah, it's up to you. There's a helmet. You don't have to wear the helmet. It's a part of it. You don't have to. Yeah, it still counts as plate even without it. All right. As you guys begin to move elsewhere through the bazaar, you hear a loud booming voice. Come one, come all, to the Yalrak Trading Company, where all your martial or exotic needs will be met. Come, come. As you turn a corner, you see a very large tent set up, massive, in fact. There's an individual standing on like a pedestal out front, a half drow, one that both Trist and Zune know. This man is infamous. He is known as Yalrak Mizuran. His trading company has its dirty fingers in everything. He has long white braided hair with torques of silver and gold woven into it, and a finely manicured smile always upon his face. He wears expensive silks in shades of blue and silver. He is said to possibly be the bastard of one of the council members, but has not been proven. Though the fact that he has lasted so long, especially in the bazaar, dominating most of it, speaks otherwise. His stall is much more permanent tent fixture with an intricately carved wooden roof, some 20 feet tall, with all manners of incense and braziers burning both day and night to cover up the smell of his wares. As you guys, I'm assuming you guys are approaching, or are you just walking past all of this description I wrote out for you?
Or who is this man?
That's Yarlak. I try to avoid him when I can.
What does he do?
I refer to him as a dirty trader.
Dirty trader.
He's actually pretty clean, but
you hear him kind of perk up. I heard that.
Yeah.
There's no dirty, filthy animals here. Nothing but the cleanest you can find. Come, come. I'll show you myself.
I would love to see all of yourself. But
One in Rome, Rogar. Might as well go check it out.
What do you sell?
He hops off his pedestal. Come, come. And he ushers you into his tent. It is a cacophony of sound and smell. Most of it's covered up by the incense, but you have the firm smell of like shit, feed, and kind of like that zoo smell coming from inside of the tent.
With chips.
Yeah, it's just all, like hay, basically that kind of like stuff all over the place. And it's a large space. There's people haggling and several of his lesser attendants moving around, gold exchanging hands, lots of stuff happening in here. Very busy at the Yalrak trading. He motions over to a stall, almost like a cage, large cage. And within, you all see a collection of, most of them around 2 feet tall or so, of red-skinned dragon lizard-like creatures that you would know as kobolds. Tons of them, just in there. They have like little loincloths on. Some of them are like sleeping. Some of them's like, one of them's like taking a shit outside the bars, pinching one off, kind of looking at you like as he does so. Filthy creatures indeed, but you get a pittance, 5 gold a kobold. You can take as many as you want. There's always more. He moves past this. He says, in these, he points towards a larger cage, and you see several large humanoid shapes. When I say large, I mean they're actually large. Most of them have like bald, shaved heads, kind of like stupid looks in their eyes. They're kind of sitting down. One of them's got his finger halfway up, like about to scratch his brain. And you could recognize ogres. There's 3 to 4 ogres in this cage. Ah, yes, the bulky's semi-giant folk. 600 gold a man. No? Very well. This way. You then see a white-furred creature that's kind of like pacing back and forth in a smaller cage setup. It appears to be a cat, a large cat of some kind, with like blue piercing eyes and white fur that kind of like paces back and forth. Oh, a cat from the very crags of the mountaintop. Deadly indeed. any budding adventuring parties? He kind of glanced over you. Would do well to have one in accompaniment.
I've seen these beasts before.
Sure you have.
Closer to the cage.
Yes, get closer to the cage. You kind of look at it. It looks back at you, and it kind of like yawns. Large, massive fangs in its mouth as it does so.
Cragcat.
Yes, it is a crag. Very well.
You tamed it.
Of course. Very tame.
Attest it. Your hand. Put it in there.
Very well. He places his hand within the bars and then pulls them out immediately within about 5 seconds.
Rogar grabs his hand and holds it there.
You're going to try to grab his hand?
Yes.
Give me a we'll do this. You give me a athletics check, and he's going to give me an acrobatics check.
Okay. Oh, bad. 10.
You go to reach out to grab him, and he slips his hand out. Come now, no touching the merchandise. I could have you killed for that. But if you want such a good customer, come this way. Next, indeed. As he marches you over, marches over to the next pen. You watch as you are what you are about to pull his hand out, like the cat chomps right at the edge of the cage, like kind of claws outwards for a moment. The next pen he leads you to has these large reptilian creatures, long licking tongues. Riding lizards, giant riding lizards. They can scale surfaces. You could ride them anywhere.
Drow them.
500 gold a lizard. But I've saved the best for last. And he moves you over to a smaller cage. Small-ish. There's a large tarp covering it. You hear these chittering, scratching noises coming from underneath. As he moves to it, I'm going to pull this up just to make sure I got this right. Come now. How dare you do this to me right now? Damn it. It's fucking up. Yep. It's fucking up. Nope. It's gone.
Oh, no.
There it is. Boom. Got it. Okay. So as you approach, you see he pulls back the tarp, and you see 6 small chitinous kind of creatures. They appear to be eyeless, and they have 4 irregularly gangly arms with a hooked prehensile tail behind them. Each of the arms has these strange talons on them. There's 2 little hooked talons on them. They all kind of chatter and clatter together. Their mouths are fanged, almost like lamprey-like, but then there's these 2 large kind of tusks that come out to the side of them, and they are considered a small size. So they're each about the size of a dog, a medium-sized dog. And there's 6 of them, kind of scurrying around inside of there. Oh, treasures from the deep themselves. Crawlers, we call them. And they could be yours. A vicious hunting you can be done with them. Good protection. I would be wary of losing their whistle, but should you keep it close at hand, your enemies would feel their wrath. Nothing, really. You're all speechless. Well, I am a great salesman.
I am partial to the dragon creatures myself.
The kobolds? Come now, you could have crawlers at your disposal. A veng of crawlers.
I do not know what a crawler is.
They are quite lethal, my friend. Extremely lethal. There are entire packs of them that rip apart our finest warriors below. I was lucky enough to come into these.
Interesting. But the kobolds...
You're one of those. Very well.
How, unfortunately, my last kobold companion friends perished. I had to.
Yes, they did.
I had to end their lives with my own hands.
Don't say any more. Just know that I understand. They are filthy creatures below anything in existence. Whatever you do with them is up to you. I don't care. You could eat them for all I care. I don't want to make assumptions of your productivities. But should you want some kobolds at any time, I will provide. I have too many. They do also make great snacks for the other beasties.
Where and how do you acquire so many?
That was his name, Snacks.
They are found below. There's a range of them. They're like insects, like roaches, I believe some of the other races call them. A scourge on our great society. They do make decent servants. Good at cleaning. You do have to be wary of being stabbed in the back, but should you be attentive?
They do tend to run away.
Yeah, there is that. That's why you can always buy more. We have plenty.
It brings back too many bad memories. I am sorry. I do not want to. Does anyone else want anything?
I do. I didn't want to say this, but I do also have a fair number of contracts for indentured individuals I could sell.
I see, Rogar. This is what I brought up the dirty trader.
Dirty.
Come now. You speak in such crass language. I am a provider of goods, of necessary trade to all. Without me, many of our fair city would not get anywhere below. You need these creatures to survive. And of course, some people fall into debt, and instead of having them exiled, I take them into my bosom, and I provide them with fair work.
Our line of work is very dangerous. I do not think.
Due to the contracts that they have signed, they have given up everything. I do not honestly care what you do with them, but they're worth. They have various ranges of skills. I have people that are. I have a disgraced cleric at my disposal right now. I also have a large burly barbarian they found in the north. It was great. I have a disgraced assassin as well from one of the higher ranking society members.
A barbarian.
Yes.
Is he dragonborn?
What is dragon? You? Like you? No. Definitely not.
Hobgoblin.
What is? Oh, like that one? He points towards Rosar. No, yes. No. He's giant-ish, half giant thing.
Well, I have no need of these people.
Very well. I guess if no one wants...
What family is the disgraced assassin from?
No one you would know.
Then I guess, I don't know, it would be I have no interest.
Well, perhaps, I could procure the necessary paperwork. Should you be interested, very interested, maybe we could work something out.
Well, without knowing who exactly it is, I'm not very interested. But if you actually come across their name...
Come now. You know how these things work. I can't just give away everything.
Well, you know how these things work. I can't just pay for something and not know what exactly I'm getting.
You know you're getting a fine drow assassin. Not just any pittance out there. These fools from the dynasty think that they know what work is. They know nothing.
What I know is if I don't know specifically what or who I am getting, that I will have a very talented drow assassin who could easily kill me and run away.
No. The contracts are binding, my friend. Binding in nature.
For how long?
Until their term is up.
How long are these terms?
Well, it depends on the individual. Our disgraced assassin's term is up after 100 years.
Interesting. How much?
For the contract? For my assassin? For you? You seem like such a man of great standing. Wealth, one might say. He is my finest piece. 5,000 gold.
All right. Well, you're right, Rogar. There's nothing for us here. Just turn around and walk.
I could do for 4,500.
Rogar, we have somewhere to be.
I could go 4, but no less.
I'll think about it. I'll consider it. And when I know who exactly this individual is, I might take you up on it. Until then, we have somewhere else to be. Thank you for your time, sir.
Do you at least want a kobold?
I'll look over at the one that just shit outside the cage. Just...
It looks back at you and gives you the finger. It's like,
I kind of do want that one, though. I'm sorry.
You have earned your freedom today.
I think I would like to buy him.
Very well, 5 gold.
Man, that's so cheap.
Yeah, throw 5 gold. Get the little asshole.
I'll find 5 gold over to him. Oh, Hans, that one. It's large, like this bugbear who has like a shackled collar on his neck. Comes like lumbering over. He opens the gate. As he does, like a couple of them are like, now, and they like try to rush it, and he's like slaps them all away. Slaps them a couple times. A couple of them like spilling out. One of them like splats against the far wall and doesn't move, like doesn't get up. He reaches in and grabs the one. He's like, now, and like pulls it out. It's like thrashing the whole time. Closes the gate. Do you want me to bag it? Yes, Hans. Yes. Put it in the bag. Make sure it's tight. He gets a big sack and like throws it in and like ties it real tight. Crunches it. It's over there. It's thrashing around the whole time as he hands it to you, Zune.
And I will take my leave outside with my squirming bag of kobold.
As you pull it away, Velree's sitting there stroking her chin. 5 gold, huh? It'd be awfully tasty. She just kind of looking into the cage. As that takes place, you can all begin to walk out into the bazaar.
I'd like to do a perception check to see who all's been tagging us, tailing us. If anyone seems like they're interested in us.
Give me a perception check soon.
It's probably not going to be good. Is it at disadvantage due to the daylight, or it's...
And no, everything is covered here in such a way that normal drow eyes are good. What do I got here? A 22. Okay. Zoom, as you kind of like step out slightly with your bag, your kobold bag, in the sack, as he's writhing around. You look out, and you look down the way, and the market's quite crowded. And you spot for just a moment a individual with a hood on, a dark hood. A little bit away is that as you walk out, it's almost like they lock eyes with you for a second and then they duck away. Like obviously trying not to know that they were looking at you.
Yeah.
Down one of the caravan sides. And as that happens, it pulls away. All of you begin to move out into the bazaar. Somebody having to drag Velree. Probably Nyara's like, come now, Velree. You're scaring the patrons. And then getting her to walk out with you. That is where we're going to end tonight's episode of Emberfell Whispers from the Stars.
Oh.
There we go.
And we got stuff.
You got stuff. Yeah, did some shopping, got some stuff. Running a little late. Sorry, we're running a little late. Let's do favorite moments of the night, though. You know, Let's start off. Tristan Farrell.
As much as I enjoyed Rogar getting thrown like Kratos, I liked Zune has been keeping all of this stuff secret from us. And I do recall early on, saying that Drow were shifty and they couldn't be trusted. And then we go to the Drow home, and what do we know? As an alias name.
To be fair, you all didn't ask about these specifics.
Yeah, of course.
The thread is starting to unravel.
It's unraveling. It's unraveling quick.
Nothing's unraveling. You guys never asked anything about Zune.
You never asked.
Brooker's asked about Zune's past and dreams multiple times, but you've always obfuscated and.
It's true.
Zune gets so offensive when you ask anything.
Whoa.
Ask the right way.
Yeah, that's the right way. The right way involves cocoa butter and smooth jazz. Okay.
Yes, so.
True.
Anyways, thank you, Trist. How about Zune? Favorite moments of the night, Zune?
I think finding out that Trist is such a stud, it's like the disturbing, really? I'll reevaluate our friendship, Trist.
He's a handsome man.
See what happens tonight.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh. dark side of Tristan.
Oh my, indeed. Oh man, how about Razire? Favorite moments of the night, Razire?
Oh, there's so many. No, I like the idea of two Trist.
Double Trist.
That was fun. Double Trist. Double your pleasure, double your Trist. And the idea that there was this quantum entanglement of which one had to live or die so the other could live. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
And just reminding everyone that Razire is essentially naked until we get him some armor. And getting Rogar a date with the armor lady, beefy elf.
He's gonna have to deliver. He's gonna have to unroll the loincloth, unsheath.
He's gonna have to prove why
sleep by magical
means.
Exactly.
Usa all over again.
Right, Usa.
How about last but not least?
This time it's more shifty.
The mighty Rogar, apparently. Favorite most of the night, Rogar.
I really like the end with the
Yalrak.
Yeah, Yalrak, Mizran. I liked him. I liked him a lot. He was, a charlatan. Just a swindler. I liked him.
Yeah.
Scout. He was great.
What's that like?
I really wanted some kobolds, but I just felt like they'd run away.
Come on. Zune's got one?
I know. I've been down that path soon. It doesn't end well, you know.
It doesn't end well.
It ends up with you having your hands around their necks, you know.
I intend to coach it into freeing its friends and raising hell.
I tried.
I tried to inspire it to be like, oh, you know, your fellow dragonkin.
They're dirty little liars.
Kids.
You dirty little liar.
They're dirty little liars. They pledged their love to Rogar, and behind his back they were trying to escape all the time.
Our first combat we had, they ran away.
Ugh.
We saw them again, but lost themselves to madness.
Like the first time you get a hamster, you're like, this little bastard is no good.
It was Snacks and
Snacks
Kobu.
and who else?
Yeah,
Kobu and Snacks.
Snacks was mine. Kobu was Dayu's.
Yep.
Nax was very sickly.
Sickly.
He had one hit point.
Didn't they
One
end up
hit
getting
point.
crushed in a bag? Wasn't that one?
Rogar broke their necks like chickens
I
Hi.
because they went crazy, and he was like, I gotta put them out of their misery,
Yeah.
and just like killed them all.
mean, I felt sad about it. Roger felt sad about it. He didn't want to do it. You know? It's like putting down Old Yeller.
I love how this campaign has slowly worn Rogar once noble
Wearing him down.
innocent
So-
warrior. Has turned him into this gristled fuck you. Just fuck you.
Well, you can always go back to the market and buy anything you want. You know, he's got all kinds of stuff there. It's open for
I got a
business.
very the collector vibe from this guy.
Possibly. I will say, if I had a favorite moment, you finally made it Silver Dry. Thank God. Thank God we finally made it. I'm excited about it. And we'll see what kind of shenanigans will ensue.
We haven't burned this place down yet.
I know you haven't yet. I'm looking.
Yes.
I really wanted you guys. We didn't have time. I really wanted you guys to end up going to the tavern, or more specifically to the Red Hourglass.
I mean,
I guess we'll see that next.
I guess we'll have to wait.
We'll have to wait. We'll see you next session.
Waiting
See how it goes.
on armor to be built anyway. So
Yeah.
you can't burn the place down till after that.
So, unfortunately, that's going to be it. Thank you guys for sticking with us. If you have, of course, check out the one and only Dan Decker. We've got all of his links in the comment section, or in the description of the video. Do make sure to leave comments. We enjoy hearing from you guys. We enjoy reading them and responding. I try to respond as many as I can, or at least give you a little thumbs up or something. And it's something, acknowledgement. Of course, if you haven't already, do make sure to subscribe to the channel. And of course, we will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.